Yo guys, what's going on? My name is Ryan and welcome back to a brand new video on Hijomeatman News. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not this man, Bradley Ray, can be a threat to the British Championship for 2018. So, we're going to go through his previous years, what he's done in the past, and what he's done so far in 2018. So, 2004, 5, and 6, he was the British Mini Motor Champion. Then went into a Mini GP 50, which is a bit more of a highly powered bike. It's got gears and all that, and he finished the champion, and that with multiple wins and multiple records. So you knew right from a kid that he was going to be pretty quick when he got older. 2008 he then moved on to the Mini GP 70, and then once again just like 2007 he got multiple wins and multiple records. 2009 he then went off to Spain to go and race in the XL80 Championship, finished 4th in there, and then come back to the UK to do club races on a pre-GP 125 to prepare himself for his British Championship debut in 2011 on a GP 125, and finished 6th on a standard RS 125 Honda. 2012 he then went off into the Red Bull Rookies Cup, and that's really when his career really started rolling. Finished 7th there. He also at the same time did the British Championship, finished 6th despite missing the rounds obviously that clash with the Red Bull Rookies because that takes priority. Red Bull Rookies again in 2013, finishing 11th. Motorstar, that was the first kind of year of the Moto 3s and that came into the British Championship. He came 9th in the Championship despite again missing the rounds that clashed with the Rookies, and then went off to CEV, finished in 15th position. The year after, that was in 2013, so he did Red Bull Rookies, Motorstar and CEV in 2013. 2014, back to the Red Bull Rookies, 4th, and then the Motorstar British Championship 3rd, and then the CEV again in 2014 as well, he finished 11th, and then 2015 he was offered 3 rides in the Moto 3 paddock at Grand Prix level, but he was unable to accept due to the lack of funding that he had. So, with that kind of said, he was a bit out of a ride, and then, luckily for Bradley, he actually got to ride the Fab Racing Team R6 Yamaha at BSB level in the Super Sport class, because he kind of was able to, the team was able to be put together because a last minute pull out from another team was able, or allowed them to kind of jump into the sport, and Bradley was kind of nowhere throughout that season until he got to, I think it was Cadwell Park, when he won the 2 races that he entered that weekend. He won them both. He got 12 podiums, the most wins. He got 6 wins in that season from about mid-season onwards. He got the most pole positions and the most fastest laps. Rounds 1 and 2 were rode on an old bike, while the proper race bike was being prepared for later on in the season, and that's when that bike really came, and that's when Bradley showed what he could do and win races, and he finished 3rd in that championship. So really good result for him. And then in 2017 he then signed for Stuart Hickens' Hawk Racing build-based Suzuki, and it was kind of like the Superbike satellite team, if you sort of kind of think of that, to the Bennett Superbike Suzuki that Gintoli and Mackenzie were on throughout 2017. So he was on this kind of satellite Suzuki, and he was constantly showing up the main, factory, if you could say, Suzuki of Gintoli and Mackenzie, constantly finishing ahead of him, fighting for top 5s. And then at Alton Park he was able to get a podium and got his first podium at Alton Park at just 19 years old, and he was obviously by far the youngest rider in the class, and he'd never rode a 1000cc bike before, and he just made impressive progress throughout the season, and then going into 2018 with the same team, and he was able to pick up 2 wins in the first race weekend. And obviously now that he's got this kind of more of a proper support from the the top team, he's now in that top team, and he's doing really well. He's managed to get that bike feeling like the Super Sport bike. He had that R6 that we were just briefly on about, where the front ends really like, he can put it exactly where he wants to put that bike, and it worked. He took the risk in tricky conditions on Sunday, which was kind of dry, very cold, just really kind of just horrible conditions. And then Monday's race, the Bank Holiday Monday, even worse. It was dry, wet, kind of, I was there, I sat at the old hairpin, and it was wet on the entrance but dry on the exit. It was dry down Craner, and then just on the brakes there was a wet patch, and he just took the gamble. He felt that confident with the bike, and he was able to push right from the start, pull a gap, and just control that gap right to the end of the race, where he managed to pick up his 2nd win. So at just 20 years old, he's got 2 victories already, and he's got 50 points on the board, 19 points ahead of Leon Haslam, I think it is, in the championship. No, Shaker Byrne in the championship. And yeah, really good start. So whether or not Bradley can actually you know, fight for the championship. We'll have to wait and see. But with all those like stats that I read out, his years that he's done on a motorcycle, he has the experience. He has, you know, the speed, as we saw this weekend at Donington Park. He has the majority. He has, you know, the experience. Like I said, he's got that experienced mind. He knows what to do on a bike, and I reckon Bradley Ray could definitely fight for the championship, because going into, you know, this first round of the British Superbike Championship, there was names floating around. You know, there was Shaky Byrne, there was Leon Haslam, Glenn Irwin, Luke Mossey, Dan Linfoot, Jason O'Halloran, Josh Brooks, but there was really very, very little mention of Bradley Ray. And well, he's basically put down, you know, his authority this weekend. They said, look, I can fight for the championship, and I will fight for the championship. So I reckon Bradley Ray definitely could be in for a fight, and there's so many names that can, you know, get inside that top 6 and get in the showdown and fight for the championship, because, you know, Bradley is now in there. Like I said, them names, you know, that I read out, and then there's also Christian Iden and Michael Laverty on the Tyco BMW. We also have a few other riders, James Ellison in there as well. So yeah, we have to wait and see what will go on, because it's going to be an interesting season. But Bradley Ray definitely for me can fight for the British Championship this year, and definitely bag himself his first British Superbike Championship on that Hawk Racing build-based Suzuki. Let us know down in the comments below what you think. We're going to bring back the question of the day from now on in every video. So yeah, the question that we want you to answer is, can Bradley Ray and Hawk Racing build-based Suzuki get the championship this year? He's got himself 50 points, 2 race wins, 10 podium credits, and it's looking good for Bradley Ray. So there we go, that is it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, thank you for watching, and goodbye.